Roll call, please.
Yes. Present, we have Neil Beaver, also Jeremy Fisher, physically present. Physically absent is Jerry Nelson. Physically present, Robert M. Ferguson Jr. We also have Peggy Myers. We have Tony Janeway, Steve Hicks, and 4 citizens.
All right. And you have a chance to look over the meeting minutes. So I need approval of the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
Make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes.
Second, the meeting minutes approved as read. Moving to the open issues. Anything to report on the Roann Quickway?
We don't have,
Okay, so
She's
Christina
not here.
Council, circle back to that. Anything for the railroad property
same thing,
and for the park
same thing.
and for the pole track?
And I think that was her
Right,
also,
well-
wasn't it?
Yes. So should we move on to the new business? Unless, and when she comes back, we can move back to that.
You may.
Okay. Tony?
Back at town hall, all the brick repair is being damaged from water running down it between the gutter and the roof itself. There's a very large section back there that is freezing and busting just like it did in the past. I know there's roof repair that needs to be done on it.
Did we ever get any quotes about roof repair?
It was brought to my attention when the gutter guys put it up there, and I discussed it, and I was told that we didn't have the money, so I never bothered anybody with it.
Mhm. Was there anything in the contract with the, like, any kind of how long it would last or anything like that with the previous plan?
No.
That has nothing to do with the paint job.
I mean, just so that we would have the information on hand, if you wouldn't mind getting some quotes on what that would look like. At least like to know what that would look like if we have to do that.
I can do that. Bruce, next month in March, there is the conference that Bruce usually goes to down in French Lake. I'm not gonna go. I usually go to one in Fort Wayne, but I talked to him today and stuff, and he is interested in going to it. If the town's willing to pay for all of it.
And we covered what all in the past?
The expense of the conference, which is around $500, mileage. I don't know what that is normally is and stuff. I'd say it's a couple $100 anyways. Hotel room and food. And I know that he don't do much with the food because most of the salespeople and
Mhm.
vendors and stuff take care of most of that, but there is a potential for it.
I'll make a motion to approve the expenses of the conference, mileage, motel, and food.
Second.
Is Bruce the only one going?
Bruce is the other one going.
All in favor? Aye. Approve the Bruce's conference then.
Okay. The quotes and stuff that I've given you guys. The first one is parts and labor for, down here at the covered bridge, we have a sprinkler system, or the county has a sprinkler system in this covered bridge building. Last year, it froze and busted. I had the pleasure of going through the water to be able to shut it off because the only shut off that I'm aware of is inside the building. The repair was done on it. Well, this year, I got a call that it was starting to freeze in there again. Me and the fire chief have both reached out to the county about trying to keep heat in there. This quote is to put a valve outside, down in the ground to where I can shut the water off without having to deal with inside the building if something was to occur again. Basically, this valve is just like what the town has throughout everywhere on the water mains. This is something that I just brought to you guys. There was no decision that has to be made on it now. And it's just an ideal that I have to help protect the town and me.
What is the county's responsibility with this?
100%. As far as I'm concerned, it's all theirs.
Mhm.
We
Belongs to
supply them
them.
with the water,
Mhm.
but if that main breaks and nobody catches it, it could possibly drain the water tower to where the town is without water. There's a lot of different factors in it. Larry reached out, I called him and talked to him about the heat in there. There is a heater in the building. It is old, it don't work.
Mhm.
I check it every year before winter comes in and stuff. It was working when I checked it and stuff, but as later on and stuff, it decided to quit working. So there was two space heaters that me and Larry Rinsberg put in there to maintain. The county don't seem real excited about anything when you call them and talk to them about it and stuff.
Mhm.
They just push it off. So all I'm trying to do is cover the town. And like I said, and me
Mhm.
for this valve. I know it's expensive, but it's just an ideal to try to do something with it.
Mhm.
Larry even reached out to him, talking to him about it, because if that's not working, then the bridge is not covered with any kind of fire protection. If it is busted, the town could be minimal coverage with fire protection,
Mhm.
and they didn't, as far as I know, they've never gotten back with him either, and I talked to him this week, or last week, about it.
Are we just that low on the, of the issues they're dealing with that, I mean, compared to the other problems with the bridge, that they're not really seeing this as a problem, or what?
I'm not gonna say either way, because I don't know what their reasoning is. I know that it's been pointed out to them for the last couple of years that there's issues, and nothing's been done.
Mhm.
We've got a couple of new commissioners, one of them being Cheryl Ross, who is kind of local.
Mhm.
Have you reached out to her personally?
No, sir. All I did was call a Wabash County garage or highway, whatever it is that's over that. And I talked to the secretary, and she says Cole, which is the commissioner or whoever is not around and stuff, so they give me to a guy by the name of Mike. And that's who Larry Winfrey also talked to. And we explained it to him, and that's all I know.
Well, and I mean, I think the way this gets handled a lot with the county is it's something that we would kind of have to go and present at a meeting of, get them to put this on their agenda of, we'll be there to talk about that, so. So you have this quote, do you have an idea for a quote about the actual heater in it?
I would say Larry even told him if they bought the heater and brought it to him, he would put it in. I would say less than $500, they could fix the heat.
Yeah, I guess I would like to take them a couple options of, this is what needs to be done. Here's some quotes for what it could be, and then we can take that to a county meeting if that's the only way that they're gonna respond to it then.
Okay.
Hold on.
I know the Bridge Association's talked with them before about the heating system, and I think the same response. But we do have new commissioners now, one being Cheryl, who does participate down there with the fundraisers.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the proper way of doing it. I would just go to the commissioners.
Yeah.
And they can direct highway, or they can actually say, we'll do this. We'll go over the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's something that we'll have to probably take to the commissioners, but we get a plan developed, we take that then.
Okay.
Anything else?
There's a lot.
The second one on there is the quote for the expansion on the pole barn down there. It was just one that I got. I got another guy coming tomorrow. And like I told you guys, I could break it down into multiple stages. This is just a shell, the siding, the roof, the doors, and then we can do the concrete at a later date, and then the interior at a later date. It's just a expansion over the pole barn.
And this is because the tractors that you are looking at would not fit where the current tractor is.
Correct. And it's just because we've gained a truck, we've gained a back trailer, and if we end up with another tractor, it's not gonna fit
Mhm.
with the setup that we have.
Well, and I just don't think it makes sense to get a new tractor if we don't have a place to put it anytime soon, but I also
agree.
think that this might have to be something that we look at for the budget for next year, of being able to get both of those in 1 year then, so that we can actually have a place to put a brand new tractor?
Well, and like I said, just keep in mind that this year, I would say the tractor that we've got is gonna need a new clutch.
Do you have a
Right.
quote for that yet?
I did not get a quote for that one. I know for my tractor, which is comparable in size, different brand, but it was about $4,000.
Well, because if we get a new tractor, we would probably be selling the old one, right?
Yes.
We wouldn't need to keep that. So, I mean, if anything, that would help with the resale value on it.
Just a
Two.
quick Google that I done for that tractor, the size of it, and what it is and stuff, it's about $15,000. Is what they're selling for.
For the one we got now? Okay.
That I've seen, there was two different ones on the computer that I've seen that was comparable. And that ours has got less than 2,000 hours, so those had 3,000 to 4,000 hours each on it. And it was about $15,000 is what they were asking for them online. Now, whether or not they sold, I don't know that, but that's what was online.
But again, this is something that we would have to then have a
Has
It'd be a
pull out,
sealed
it
bid
has
thing,
closed out.
bid.
put a minimum
Yeah.
on it.
Okay.
So I can't get a quote on the repair of the tractor and stuff and see. And like I said, I can bring it to you next month.
Mhm.
Next, we've got a quote for a computer. The sewer plant is stating that every time, not every time, but a lot of times when I get on the computer, my Windows 10 is gonna be outdated this year or not supported this year. So I reached out to Travis up at BIT in Manchester and stuff, and he said that our computer cannot be updated to the Windows 11. He said it would have to replace the computer itself, the tower.
Yeah.
So that's what this quote is for. I did talk to Bruce about it today. I couldn't find an actual date in the computer, but he guesstimated it being about 10 years old, just so you know.
I remember when we bought it.
What would that come out of then?
So that'll come out of water and sewage because that's what you use it for, right? Yeah, comes out of water and sewage. So it'd be half and half, about $1,000 out of each one.
Travis explained to me that the computer could work, but he can't guarantee it that it's gonna work with all the programming. And so far, everything is working on it, but I just know that I keep getting these emails and updates and stuff stating that it's not gonna get updated anymore. So I reached out to him, just asked him a question, and he done the log me in thing and got on the computer and answered his own question about could it be updated, and he said no. So he sent me this quote.
And so this is, this quote, everything's good, ready to go, everything's
Yes,
installed
this
on
is-
it and,
Him bringing it down with the good to go and installing it and transferring all the information over,
And have Windows 11 on it.
yes.
May I
Yeah.
ask a question? Can we use the one that we have right now for GIS, any of the GIS systems that we have? Will any of the GIS work with 10?
As of right now, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything, like I said, everything's working right now.
Well, I mean,
just don't know-
I'm not, I know that we need this. I'm just
to move it
asking
somewhere else.
where we can, if we
I
can
think it's-
take that one and move it someplace else. I mean, if you can still use that down there for something.
I don't need that, because Travis even asked me about getting a new laptop or whatever, I told him we didn't need it. For the way we've got things set up and stuff, we really don't need it, because we transferred all the GIS that we were using the laptop and stuff on, it's on our main computer now.
Is this a desktop that you're
Yeah.
getting? Okay, understood,
Yeah.
understood.
And it's not even, it's not a new monitor, it's just the
No,
tower.
it's just a tower.
All right,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the $2,041.61.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, last but not least, the well. Our big well, as we call it and stuff, it pumps twice as much as the little well. The little well was repaired in 2021. Now the big well needs to be replaced. It is right at $30,000 to replace the pump, the pipe, the electrical, clean the well, test the well, camera the well, all that good stuff. By Peerless, which is a company that we use yearly. They come in every year and do a test and maintenance on everything that we need for that. or 30,000 to replace all that. It's another 15,000 if they run the camera down to it and they find out that there's some cleaning that needs to be done. So basically, he's saying 45,000 worst case scenario, but I don't necessarily believe that because if things break and it falls down and busts the screen and all that good stuff, worst case scenario is a new well, which it could be as much as $100,000. But right now, this is what they're saying that needs to be done. It's producing right now, it's producing about half of what it should. As far as gallons per minute.
And what are are there any codes around that?
Yes, sir. The state of Indiana recognizes that you're supposed to have 2 working wells that produce at least 70 gallons a minute. Both of our wells are producing about 100 to 125 gallons a minute. This well is supposed to produce 250 gallons a minute, and it does not. And just like last night, we had a fire right outside of town here, and I watched my mission system for 2 hours to make sure that they were not going to run us out of water. Because if they start pumping water into the tankers and stuff like that, they could suck our tower dry real quick. And a tanker is about 3,500 gallons. Our water tower holds 75,000 gallons. So if they had multiple trucks running it multiple hours, they could drain us real quick.
Do you have any idea how old this one is?
2013, I believe, was when the last pump was updated on this. Peerless recommends every 7 to 10 years that they get things replaced. And I know Bruce has talked to the board before about getting it into the budget to where every 7, 8 years, we need to have this money set aside to do this.
What would this be coming out of?
Water. Currently in water, we have $20,000 in depreciation. I can come up with some more money, but it's going to drain your depreciation. Just to let you know. And then we'll start all over again with depreciation. And depreciation was what we were using to put back for the tractor. So I had it covered there. I had the tractor covered in both those well, all 4 departments.
Being able to pull from all that to
But
tractor.
if you're going to, I'm sorry.
Being able to pay for the tractor was pulling from all those accounts.
Yep, it has to come out of the sewage or the water. We had said it was going to come out of general and it was going to come out of MVH. I had it pulling out of 4 different places, and it was going to be, I think, right at 14 for each one. Is what I had.
The tractor pull was just shy of $50,000.
Yeah, I think I had 14 coming out of each one.
There's like 56 then.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize. I had it right at 12 coming out of each one. So I had the money for it at that time, but if you drain the water, then I don't have it in water. I have to start all over again. So
If we had to push back on the conversations about the tractor, but I mean, this well is a bigger priority.
Yes, 100%.
Well, as long as, everyone understands that that's where that money was budgeted for, but when things like this come up, that's no longer an option, or at least not in the immediate.
well, because you're talking 45 grand and coming out of there. So
Well, and
That's it.
I have the other 25.
And so do they have to do the video inspection?
It's just part of it. You know, I would recommend doing it, because like Bruce said, the well was 1960. And basically the video inspection, there's a sleeve that goes down into the ground. It's got a screen on it to keep all the rocks and the dirt and everything else out of the water.
So the 29889 covers all of that.
Yes, sir. Basically what happens if they run the camera, when they run the camera down through there and stuff, if they find out the screen is getting plugged up, the other $15,000 is where they run chemicals and stuff down through there, and they clean the screen to be able to get the well
Mhm.
back to where it's supposed to be pumping capacity. Right now, they're saying the pump is what's bad. The way the other well was in 21 is the pipe that goes down and connects to the pump.
Mhm.
It was halfway rotted off, so as the pump was pumping on, it was blowing back out right back into the well.
Mhm.
And if the pipe breaks, which we don't know until we pull the pipe,
Mhm.
if the pipe breaks, then the pump drops to the bottom and it could damage the screen, which in turn you would have to redo the well.
When would they even be able to do this then?
I will call them tomorrow, and they basically I would get on their list. I can't say that it'll happen next week, but when I did talk to Jim about it last month, he said he could be here at the earliest, would be March, 1st of March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. On the 15, is that just for the cameras, or would that also include if they run the camera and they find that they have to dump chemicals down in there? Will that include the chemicals also, or will the chemicals be in addition to the 15?
The 29,000 is the cameras, the pump, the cleaning of certain things that goes in there,
Uh-huh.
pipe, and the wiring and the installation.
Okay,
The 15,000 is if they run the camera down through there and it's all plugged up.
and that's plugged up. Okay, I
It's a
understood.
Cleaning process for 15 grand. Is
Okay.
what it is.
Understood.
The camera's included in the 30,000.
So if you're going to approve it, you would approve the 29,889. And then
They
If-
need the
if-
additional.
if they need to clear the screen,
Mhm.
then you can clear up to 15 would be the way you would do that. And
When are we due for this for the other well?
We just had the other well done in 2021.
Okay.
So we've got 5-6 more years. Like I said, Peerless comes in and tests it every year.
Mhm.
And when they start noticing the decline of everything, that's when they make the recommendations. They said between 7 to 10 years is what they recommend each well be rebuilt.
And we did that with, we did the other well with money that we got from COVID. We did it with COVID money.
But same company.
Yeah, Peerless has done it for years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the 29,889 for the well pump, with up to 15,000, if any, if the screen needs to be replaced,
Cleaned.
cleaned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All I got, guys.
Thanks. Christina, we're gonna move back to you.
I'm sorry, I was at a 6th grade girls basketball game in Logansport. And I will not admit how fast I drove to get there. He knows.
All right, we'll start with the quick way. Any updates there?
So, the only update I have for you there. Because I looked at the statutes again with regard to the licensing, and there's no case law that deals with that ordinance or that statute.
About the beer and wine versus
About
the
beer and
liquor.
wine versus the liquor.
Yeah.
It's just very plainly stated, the commission may grant only one three-way permit, comma, one two-way permit, comma, and one one-way permit in an incorporated city or town or an unincorporated town for each 1,500 persons or fraction thereof. I read that to mean Roann could only have 3 permits, one of them a one-way, one of them a two-way, and one of them a three-way. Welcome to.
That's right. Yeah,
I was going to try to get a hold of someone at the commission, and I hadn't had a chance to do that, and I'm not really sure who there would answer that question, but that's how I.
I don't really know how there's any other way to read it.
Yeah.
May grant only
And-
one.
and right,
That's why it's whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the question you
Mhm.
had, Neil.
Yeah.
And I saw, it was laying on my kitchen table. Bob must have brought home something from them, a letter they distributed that they had a hearing before I think the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission in Wabash sometime soon, or.
I don't think we got that. I don't know.
I haven't seen it.
Which, of course, the county cannot grant unless or until we enact an ordinance, so.
Did he talk to you about a poll of some kind? If
He emailed me about that, asking if we could take a poll to see whether the citizens were in favor or not in favor. I mean, there's nothing that prohibits taking a poll. I'm not sure the logistics of that.
good.
I know that Sam is going around and collecting signatures.
Okay.
I know he's doing that.
All right. Sounds so. Nothing else to report on for that.
No, unless you know anything else about it, Steve.
Meeting this Wednesday at 9 AM.
That's what I thought.
And I can tell you that right now, there's open zoning violations between the county planning commissioner and the gas station. So, and I got complaints regarding certain things that's going on that's been reported to excise too.
Okay.
So, that's all I'm saying.
Anything for the railroad property?
So the railroad property, yes. I don't know why, but neither Bob nor I had heard back, but the commissioners did pass their resolution on December 16th of 2024. And I now have a copy of their resolution. Remember, we had to pass a resolution. They passed a similar resolution to assign us that tax sale certificate. And I now have the tax sale certificate that has been assigned to us. And that was done on February 3rd. So we now are the owners of this tax sale certificate. So we now step into the position of a purchaser at the tax sale. And we have to provide notice to the owner, who is still listed, as the owner, which would be the railroad. And there are certain statutory requirements to that notice and how it's got to be served. And so I'm going to work on that notice. It's got to be provided no later than 6 months after the date of the tax sale. And so
Which is that based off of the February or the December?
December.
Okay.
Actually, no, I take that back. That's from March 4th, the date of the tax sale.
Oh.
I'm sorry, September 4th. So we've got until about March 1st. So I've got to get this done sooner rather than later. And so what that is a notice that we're now the holders of that tax sale certificate, and that if the property is not redeemed within the 1-year time period, we will be seeking a tax deed for the property.
And what's that 1 year off of? Which date?
September.
Okay.
So the Roann County didn't help us,
No.
but that's okay.
Um,
We'll get it done.
Okay.
And that's all I have on that, unless there's any other questions about that.
Jerry had made a comment that he wanted that taken off of the agenda. And I had put it on the agenda because of these
mhm,
new things that we've gotten from the courthouse
mhm.
and that I gave to Christina. Um, I guess right now with her doing even some more things before March, I'm wondering if the council would like me to just go ahead and leave it on there for a while
Since we have things
until
to
we
report on,
don't have
yes.
anything to report.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Probably
you.
till September.
All right, thank you.
And then moving on to the park.
We have not had another park board meeting. It is next Monday night, the 17th, here at 7:00 PM. And so nothing much has happened, but I think I reported last time, we really want to kick off some fundraising and publicity and marketing and that type of stuff. And so we're going to be working hard on that. And that meeting is in a week.
And anything on the pole track?
No, I don't have any update on the pool track. That's on my to-do list. But I got to work on this notice on the tax sale.
Priority, let's get that done first.
So.
Okay, that gets us through our open issues. So now moving to Steve.
I'm not asking for any money.
Great, you're off to a great start.
Okay. Only thing I really I brought up the issues that we're having down there to the gas station. I was gonna let you know tonight. Planning commission is handling the open zoning violation complaint, and then excise is handling the stuff I passed along to them that came from the schools. The only thing I got is Dan Griffith's residence at 525 East Pike. The county attorney has filed a motion to show cause for contempt against Mr. Griffith, and that goes to a hearing, I believe, March 28th. I believe it's a Friday at 1:00, and a summons has been sent, will be sent for him to appear that day. There was 2 other zoning violations that the planning commission was handling for the town since it dealt with buildings. Mr. Griffith's neighbor at 535 East Pike was sent a notice. I got an update today. He's not responded, so they're sending a second warning label to him. And the other ones is next door, the trailer at 545. That owner did contact, corrected the issues, and he's actually planning on moving the trailer at some point this year, hopefully. So that one's been closed. Besides that, been doing a lot of patrols. There was a vehicle that we got a lot of complaints on. Actually got him stopped tonight for high speed on the 30-mile-per-hour zone, give him a ticket. Spoke with him about his behavior and stuff. So besides that, I've not had a lot of complaints given to me. So things been going smooth in town. So
Great to hear.
yeah. Is there anything from the town board to me? Okay. I am going to be taking the title pretty soon to Fort Wayne to get it serviced, plus open recalls on there. That's a minor one, but I'll get it done too. So if not, I'll go sit back down and get out of the way.
Christina, do you have any new business?
Nope.
Bob?
I have just one thing. ILMCT, the Indiana League of Municipal Clerk Treasurers, is having their annual Institute and Academy. And that's coming up on March 16th through the 20th. Starts on Sunday, runs through Thursday. And myself and Peggy will be going to that. And what I'm asking for is mileage, rooms, and meals.
I'll make a motion to approve the mileage, rooms, and meals for the ILMC conference?
ILMCT,
ILMCT.
Institute and Technology. Or, I'm sorry, Institute and Academy.
A second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Approved. Anything else from you?
That's all I have.
Anyone out there? If not, it is 7:36. Meeting adjourned.
You got it.